Hey guys, this is Camfrey15,
And this is theredwolf here.
and we are here to make another video for you guys, and we are going to be talking about one of our favorite series. I've already made a video about how much I love Pokemon, but Denzel is obviously a big Pokemon fan himself. Me and him used to go back in the back, well, we're both 21, but I guess you can say back in the day for us. We were heated rivals when it came to online Pokemon battles.
Mind anything if you recall.
Yeah, we both love Pokemon, and even though Denzel doesn't watch the Pokemon anime as much as I do, um, what is it? He still watched some seasons of some of the animes. I'll see if I can bring him on if he can remember a few of them. I really want him to come along for the black and white. And then plus, I think what I'm gonna be doing now is I think I'm actually going to go backwards in terms of the Pokemon series. I started off these Pokemon series review starting off with Sun and Moon. Now we're on XYZ, whatever you want to call it. I guess next time we'll be reviewing black and white. I guess we'll go backwards to the beginning. So you start from where you left off to the beginning. Also, if you guys don't know, I believe the newest anime, it's gonna be at episode 20. So I will review episode 20. I think I'll probably post this video tomorrow. We'll see how things go. But other than that, yeah, we're here to talk about Pokemon X, Y, or X, Y, and Z, which was really season 2 of the show. But our thoughts. One, I can say without a doubt, it is the best Pokemon season. Without a doubt. I don't care what anybody says. You can have your favorites. You and that's respectable. I respect everybody's opinion, and even Denzel will too attest to this. But my opinion, I think X and Y was the best anime series.
Yeah, I agree. Mainly because, in my opinion, because of Serena. Because, in my opinion, she's best girl.
Uh, I think actually the characters and some of the moments make this anime. Now, I would say the only thing that you could say could actually possibly beat out X and Y, I would say would be a close. I would be, I would be fine if someone said, the Diamond and Pearl series I thought was better than X and Y. I can say that because Diamond and Pearl was pretty good, other than the crazy amounts of filler episodes. Um, and what can I say? Pokemon always has filler episodes, but some of those filler episodes are usually good, not where they're strenuously long. But that's a case I can make. One of the things that makes this series is obviously like Denzel just talked about one of the characters. Each and every character you come across in this anime now. Some of them are like throwaway characters that you could care less about, but most of the characters Ash and the gang come across, they're all good characters. They improve, well, I guess somewhat improved Trevor, Tierno, and Shauna from the video games because we all know their video game counterparts are legit garbage. Don't even get me started talking about the games. X and Y games, I don't care what anybody says. I thought the X and Y games are one of the worst Pokemon games in the franchise. You can say otherwise. The story is bland, first things first. The characters are terrible. Don't even get
Gameplay
me
is
started.
too easy too.
Huh?
Gameplay is too easy too.
Gameplay is too easy if you leave on the EXP share. Thank God. I still think the EXP share in today's Pokemon game is still a problem. But whatever. But regardless, the characters were good. Now let's talk about our main four companions because this is the second anime that did the whole four team. The whole gang of four. That was, well, it's the third time they did more than three characters. If you obviously you remember from the advanced generation, our Pokemon the series, and Ruby and Sapphire are Pokemon Hoenn and stuff like that, the Hoenn region. Kalos is the second one to have more than three characters, and then the video I just last made about Pokemon was Pokemon Sun and Moon the series, and they had I think they had like 8 characters in one group. But the characters, I like the characters in this group. They acted like good friends, and if not much more, like a family.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, like yeah, I like Clement. Like he made and with his technology and stuff, and Bonnie being well, Bonnie.
Hmm. I know a lot of people like at first they were, I guess, not looking forward to having Bonnie in the series because it gave them Max vibes because we all know Max was kind of a spoiled little brat. I was all right with Max. Max was fine with me. He did get on my nerves in the freaking battle when Ash fought Norman. I swear, he got on my last damn nerves when he took Ash's gym badge away from him, and he's like, "You can't have this. You beat my dad." I'm like, "Dude, he beat your dad. Give him the dang gym badge, please. Move out of my way, little."
I
See,
like how you yourself.
See, at least Bonnie and Clement and Ash's gym battle didn't act like such a spoiled baby about it. My brother lost. We don't have time for that. Now, obviously, we're going to talk about the main lead, which is obviously Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town, who still to this day in 2020 is 10 years old, even though technically he should be 20.
How how does time work in the Pokemon world?
I don't know. They made so many points how like oh they made like so many points in the series like how a year has passed. There was like I think like some kind of special. It talks about like a year passed in the anime, and yet the following start to the newest series. Oh, here's 10-year-old boy Ash. I'm like, could you at least make him 11? Not 10. At least make him 11. Jesus, even 13 would be fine.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna have any issues. It's just if you want to go in continuity terms, obviously he must be completing his journey within a month.
Hmm.
So, and I don't think that's possible. But okay, unless he's completing each region in a month time of when he first started in Kanto, man, he must have really freaking got through everything, and he must have really been smart. Now, how dumb he got in Black and White, no idea. But X and Y was a series coming off that terrible series, the series that I don't even want to talk about. And the one thing is they needed to get Ash right. Because in Black and White, I don't care what anybody says, Black and White can be your favorite series, it can be your least favorite series.
Yeah, it made me sad most of all because I was very interested in the in the story and seeing how it would turn out, and knowing that it turned out like that with Ash being all dumb and all that stuff. I kind of
Not knowing the basics themes. And this was coming off a really good series of Diamond and Pearl, where he was actually like one of his at his best, if anything, at that time. They go over to Black and White. The fool, well, I'm not gonna blame him for his loss to the Snivy because he lost his Pikachu lost its electric type abilities, but at the same time, you should be able to beat Pikachu should be able to beat technically a starter type Pokemon that a trainer just got. If not, you're more experienced than the trainer you faced. And then throughout the entire series of Black and White, he was just dumb. Like at some point, he even know his Snivy was a freaking girl because it used to attract in the gym. Anyways, it was coming off that horrendous series. Black and White had a terrible end with that Adventures in Unova crap. Um, and they needed to establish this new Ash. And my goodness, if not, they gave us the best Ash we have gotten in the series, period. He was mature. He acted probably the most mature I've ever seen in any series. He actually knew what the hell he was doing. So the Pokemon creators in Japan were like, whoa, 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 whoa. He can't be acting stupid no more. He needs to act like he knows what he's been doing. He's been through 5 generations at this point. He shouldn't have common sense on how to battle effectively.
and uh, they should have thought that a long time ago.
Um, now obviously he does still have those kid tendencies where he's oblivious to certain things and stuff like that. But for the most part, his character was really great in this show. I had a blast. with watching his character just grow from the beginning to the end of the series. And yes, he was well, he technically wasn't oblivious till the very last episode about Serena's feelings, but yeah. But Ash was our favorite. This was my favorite. I guess anything more else you got to say about Ash and X and Y?
I just enjoyed his character from the to the very end. Like I can definitely see the difference compared to the Black and White Abomination.
Yes. Now, the next character in the main group is we're talking about Serena, the, I guess, she's not the first confirmed love interest, but she is, I guess, the first girl to, in the canon wise of the series, to kiss Ash. I know the Bianca Arlatias from movie 5 kissed Ash, um, but technically Serena's the first canonically girl side companion that kissed Ash. So suck it, Misty hater. Suck it, Misty lovers. Your girl had the chance to, but she didn't do it. And I still find it so stupid. And they bring her back in Sun and Moon, and they make her completely oblivious to the fact that she had feelings for Ash. That's the one thing I hate. That's the one thing I hate. Even in Hoenn, when she came back in Hoenn, totally forgets that, oh, I had feelings for Ash and I really liked him. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to drop the ball, even though in the last few episodes of the Johto region series, she clearly had an issue with leaving Ash because she wanted to stay with him because she liked him. Anyways, Serena was, well, Denzel, like Denzel said, best girl.
In my opinion, if you guys don't believe me, then
oh yeah, obviously, if you have
put your opinions down in the comments, please.
It's like I said, in my Sun and Moon review, obviously Lily and Mallow from Sun and Moon, they have best girl material, but I prefer Serena most of all. Now, at first, Serena really had no goals. She was kind of just there. I think Denzel can take the rest of it.
Yeah, because I think you mentioned this to me before, like she relied too much on Ash, if I recall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If not, all she was really there for was just Ash, period. She just saw him on the news and was like, oh, I should go follow the guy I liked since I was kids with him. And she was really just there doing nothing. Like, literally.
She was using all this time to find out what she wanted to do. So
now, her original thing is what her mom wanted her to do is to become a Rhyhorn racer. Obviously, she wanted to be something different. So then she thinks about becoming just a standard Pokemon trainer like Ash. And then all of a sudden, after the first gym leader, she's like, nah, I'm not going to probably do gym battles because it's looking like it's not my type of style. And then that's when she gets into the contest thing of this area, of this region. I forgot what they called them, but they're essentially contests like they did back in Sinnoh and Hoenn. And man, it must be pouring outside because I can hear the rain, guys.
I can hear slight raindrops. Anyways, go on.
So for the most part, people had an issue with her character, and they were like, she's probably one of the worst companions you could see, because all she is she's just a stray puppy dog following Ash. Then the writers prove us wrong yet again, and let's hear what Denzel is going to say about this, because this is the part when Serena gets major character development.
If we're talking about that one show when she kind of ruined it for herself, and then that's by far one of the most saddest moments in Pokemon history, in my opinion. Yeah, because Serena had her chance to shine, and yeah, just that one major flip kind of like messed it all up, and that's when she decided to like grow out of her shell
of her old self. And it was really interesting because she had to go through that entire contest watching like Shauna and her other rival, I think with Miette was there at the time too. Um, from the fact that she had to watch through all that, try to contain all the feelings she had inside, and she just tried to put on the best straight face. And then when you see her at the end of that bay, just letting out all the emotions because she feels like she embarrassed herself, she let herself down, and then she feels like she did all this work and she felt like it was for she did all this work and she felt and it was for nothing. And then this is when we get probably one of the most iconic scenes is when she cuts her hair. Now, in Japan, from what I heard, when a person cuts their hair, it's kind of like a way of saying it's a new beginning, it's a new life. You move on from your old self. So the following day in that episode, she shows up in her new design with the nice ribbon bow Ash gave her as, I guess at the time, a Christmas present, and she has a cut hair and new design. Now, we're gonna wrap up her little character thing soon, but I guess my question to you, Denzel, is what is your favorite design? The first one, I guess her video game look, or her new design?
Mm, don't get me wrong. I like her new design, but I really miss her long hair and all that stuff. I miss it, in my opinion.
So you like the video game design?
Yeah, I guess it's just me because I like long hair. Girls with long hair.
I prefer the short hair. I think the short hair. I don't mind that long haired one. I think the short haired Serena looks cuter. Now before we end things off, well, obviously she had the whole interaction with that old lady who was essentially like the agent of Arya. So it was interesting on the fact that like really like the grand festival part of her show, like her big contest. She had a chance. She should have learned instead of like just really giving up and quitting because she had that injured wrist. She tried and went through, and really the old lady kind of exposed her by saying like, yeah, if you just didn't do that, you would have been. But her character is really good. Now, obviously, we both like her for her Amore shipping moments because that is the ship with Ash, Amore shipping. Obviously, the different types of shipping, but obviously from the moment of the get-go, they just straight out put it on from the point where they first meet in person. When she gives him the nice little handkerchief and then they have the nice little memory. Go ahead.
You know what the weird thing it is for me?
What?
That those Amore shipping moments in Pokemon is the only reason why I started watching Pokemon again.
Oh yes, kid you not, kid you not. At this time of the series, people kind of went out of love for the show after Black and White. That's when people just like, the hell am I getting here? I'm not watching Pokemon again. This is what brought the Pokemon series back. Or, well, some fans back. Not all the fans, but most of the fans back. And obviously, she has countless of more shipping moments with Ash. Her and Miette's little rivalry. I feel with Miette, I feel like she didn't like Ash like that. I think she was just doing that to tease Serena because she knew Serena loves Ash that type of way or likes him that type of way. And I feel like she was just being the typical girl that teases somebody when oh, you like somebody, but I'm just gonna tease you just to, make sure you're worried about me. Um, I like the one moment after Ash lost the in the last gym leader, he lost and he lost pretty embarrassingly. He goes off on his own, and him and Serena have like legit of their first like actual argument and fight because to that point in the series they didn't fight at all. They were cool with each other, no disagreements, no anger managements. This was the first time they actually fought, and they actually fought pretty bad. It almost got to the point where Serena actually almost said that she liked him. Um, and yeah, and I guess another honorable mention was the part where Ash got really sick, and then he came out of the tent, and he literally fell into Serena's arms, and she was freaking the hell out, and she was like, what the heck's going on? And he grabs her, and he's like, and she thinks she's gonna say I like you or I love you, and then he's like, Pikachu, Iron Tail, And I was just cracking up at that moment. Now, obviously, we get the most iconic scene between the two characters is obviously, I guess, their goodbye kiss. Yes, it is confirmed. Even the Pokemon creator of the series said they kissed on the lips. They just didn't show it. It did suck that they don't show it. I hate when anime just they have a character kiss, but they don't show it. They don't show it. They usually don't show the lip to lip kiss in anime.
Mm-hmm.
They show a cheek kiss in face to face and cheek kiss, but whenever it's a lip to lip, they always just move the camera to their legs, and you're like, "You're kidding me! You're kidding me! Are you serious?" And I was shocked because I'm gonna be honest. I won't give away the moment for Denzel's sake, but they do that one time in One Piece, and it really pissed me off. It really pissed me off.
So
Yes, there's a kiss between two characters in One Piece, but they show the legs. Similar how they did in here.
talk about it. Turn off.
And that pissed me off because one, the characters at those times were 19 or 20. These characters are 10 years old. Okay, I can understand that. But yes, that was a nice little send off, and thank God it was the payoff we all wanted. We didn't get to see it, but it was the payoff we all got it. We all wanted. They dropped the ball on Ash and Misty from way back then, even though they hinted it was obviously a done deal fact that Misty liked Ash. They just never finished it off and gave him at least or her telling him yeah, Ash, I like you. But in here, they did it. They made it fulfilling. And I think that was the best thing to have. That was one of the best things about this ship. They actually, the creators actually you know what? Let's just pay this. Let's pay the shipping off. We've teased the fans too much. Let's just give them it. And they gave it to us, and hey, I don't care. I took it. So obviously, my prediction is Ash and Serena will eventually hook up at the end of the series, or whenever the series ends. I don't know. They're going to be together. Now, Clement and Bonnie. I like Clement and Bonnie a lot. Now, Bonnie to an extent got a little annoying at sometimes, but her character really grew. When they introduced the Zygarde cell thing, because that's when they really kind of focus on their relationship. There's not really much to talk about Bonnie. I just liked her as a nice little side companion because she was that little sibling that always looked out for her brother, or Clement looked out for her and stuff like that. One of my, yeah, what Denzel's bringing mention to is every time, because Brock isn't in this series, and so they had to get something new. So they kind of did a little twist on this, and instead of having Clement fall for a girl, they made Bonnie be the one to get these beautiful looking girls they come across and throughout the series and throughout each episode. Well, not each episode, but some episodes, and essentially, she tries to get them to hook up with her brother Clement, and she's like, "Please marry my brother." I'm like,
that escalated quickly.
I'm like, isn't Clement too young yet? No, I don't know how Clement is. He's probably 15 or something. I'm like, isn't he too young to get married now?
Isn't he about the same age as Ash?
Yeah, he's more than likely the same age as Ash. I did find the one funny time where Clement's old friend, who was a girl, she hung out with Clement for a bit, and Bonnie got super jealous. I loved that episode where she just got super jealous of that girl, and she was like, I don't want them to hook up, because what if they get married? And she had so many imaginations on what happened. I'm like, so this girl wanted Clement to get married to some of these other girls she's introducing, but this one chick Clement could possibly be into, she's not cool with. Hey, that's being an overprotective sibling.
Do you know all about that? Do your brother or sister do that to you?
I don't really care what my brother does. My sister, I have yet to know. By the time my sister thinks about getting a boyfriend, if I'm being honest, I'll be straight up out of college. If not, I already have a professional job. So I'll just have to be like, can I see what he looks like? I obviously have a judgment of the guy. But
Hmm.
we're not here to talk about my sister's life about that stuff. But Clement was a really interesting character. He was a really at first he was timid and he wasn't really confident in himself. You know, he didn't believe in himself that he could do things, and Ash was the person that brought that confidence out, and that's why the relationship, even though it is a best friend relationship, I felt like they were like long lost brothers.
Hmm. Yeah, I like Clinton a lot. I didn't honestly. I didn't actually. I was kind of dumb to see that Clement was actually the gym leader that time.
Mhm.
When I'm like, wait, what? He's the gym leader? I thought. Oh, and it makes sense because he was right there.
Yeah. Now, you would only not know that if you didn't play the X and Y games, but their battle, hands down, one of the best Pokemon battles in the series. So if you have not seen Ash versus Clement, that was a really good battle. That was a really good battle. Now, the the side characters around them, I think they're all good. Like I said, Trevor, Tierno, and Shauna, with Shauna being the best one from the rivals from the game. She was really well done. But for Tierno and Trevor, um, they were all right, but they kind of really didn't do anything, to be honest. Tierno, he was kind of, I guess, a love struck puppy for Serena. He liked Serena, and then Trevor, he was just. I honestly can't remember what Trevor did. Trevor was just there. I'm just being honest. He was just there. The only thing that I do remember from all three of them is they had the first Gen 3 starters, each and every one of them. Shauna had Bulbasaur, um, Trevor had Charmander, and Tierno had Squirtle. So yeah. Now the story. The arcs in this are kind of just, here and there. Obviously, you have your typical gym leader, storyline that you follow Ash through with all the, progressing of his Pokemon and stuff like that. I guess you get that little mini Serena arc in between there. You have one of the main arcs when second season of which is when they changed to X, Y, and Z. That's when you get the whole Zygarde arc, and then you get the whole Team Flare Zygarde 100% Zygarde arc, and then that's when the series ends. That's our, it's Pokemon League, and then what I just said, Zygarde, the Zygarde Cell arc, and then Pokemon League, and then Team Flare / 100% Zygarde arc. Um, you know, and we're gonna get to talking the Pokemon League. Um, Pokemon League was, I would say, the X and Y Pokemon League or the Kalos Pokemon League. It was one of the best Pokemon leagues. That even today, even though it sucks that at the time the writers clearly clickbaited you that it made it that Ash would win Ash would win the Kalos League, but he didn't end up winning. He lost to the which I did like, is they had a side story along with the X and Y storyline, the Alon storyline. I did think that was interesting. Because typically, I'll say Alon is one of the first characters that Ash has come across in the series. He's facing before the Pokemon League, always ends up losing, but still loses in the Pokemon League. Usually, in that case, when that happens, when Ash has a rival like that, he ends up beating. He ends up losing to the rival a few times, and then in the Pokemon League, that's when he eventually beats them. He did that with who was the green haired kid? Um,
Um, what's his
Fudge. I had his name on the tip of my tongue. Um, Hold on for a second. Let me look him up actually. But he beat the green haired kid with the Sceptile.
name? 11 minutes later.
I swear I have it. I have it. I have it. I have it. I have it.
Right.
Sawyer. Who the hell remembers him? Sawyer. He's an original new character in the X and Y series. He came from Hoenn, and their battle, Ash Greninja versus Mega Sceptile, that was a pretty cool battle. I really like that. Now that was the rival Ash beat after losing to him the last time because that was at the time when Ash was having his little losing streaks and stuff like that. Um, you know, Things like that. You know, Even after he did lose to Alon, I wasn't mad because he still made it to the College League finals. And that was one of the best parts. That even in defeat, it kind of didn't rectify anything. It would have been much better if he had won the College League, personally, in my opinion. I think he should have definitely won the College League here instead of the Alola. Now, I know, like I said, the only reason why he really won the Alola League was because at the time, that was the 20th anniversary of Pokemon. So that's why they made him win the Alola League. That was only a season later. But yeah, the Alon versus Ash battle in the College League was great. It was wonderful. And then we get into and then I guess they kind of tried to, I guess, rectify Ash's loss in the Team Flare arc, where Lysander does bat crazy things. Um, Now this time, the evil team storyline is much more different than the video game counterpart. From what I can remember, is Lysander was essentially trying to collect like mega evolution energy by using a lawn to do that for him, and essentially he and Team Flare were trying to get the Zygarde cores to essentially control Zygarde, and I think like destroy the world or something like that and make the world in his new image. I I guess I didn't have a problem with it. Um, I guess it was a way to introduce 100% Zygarde, because I will say Lysander was close to destroying essentially the entire world. But I was really interested to see how they would have done the ultimate weapon storyline if they were to put it in the anime. That would have been interesting. Now I think they would have probably done it better, but that's fine. It is what it is. Obviously, they made a new storyline. They kept some things from the Team Flare Lysander storyline where he thought the world was still pathetic and he thought the world was filth in his image because people in Pokemon, well, people are disgusting to him. You know, that thing. And I guess I can say for the most part, I think you can also count Lysander as the very first Pokemon death. And I'm meaning human death, not Pokemon death, because they have talked about Pokemon dying, and they have shown like Pokemon dying. But they actually killed the character, like legit a human character. Our Zygarde did. Because if you remember, Zygarde did his ultimate move and absolutely destroyed that fake Zygarde and killed that and killed Lysander. I'm sorry. I was like, I'm sure Lysander's dead. Because they showed him not being taken in or anything. I was like, are we just not gonna even think about the fact that Lysander just straight up got killed? Okay.
This is I guess this is a PG-13 show.
I was like, oh, that's when I saw that for the first time, I was like, oh, you sure that's good for kids? Because you just killed off a character like there, right there. And I know the Pokemon anime, sometimes they actually get pretty mature to our type of ages, because in Sun and Moon, they legit have a freaking Stoutland die. I'm not even kidding. They have a Stoutland die.
Did you just say that, right?
Yes. It's character development for Litten.
No, I feel sad.
Yeah. Yeah, the last season they actually bring up, heck, even in Sun and Moon, they bring up the fact that Mallow's mom died and she came back from the afterlife. Well, Because one of the Tapus, if you haven't watched the series, one of the Tapus actually takes some of the characters to, I guess, an afterlife setting by bringing those characters back from the dead, essentially. So Pokemon has brought up the afterlife, and that was in Sun and Moon. But when I saw them say they killed Lysander, he's the first confirmed casualty of Pokemon they've killed. And yeah, you can say, well, it's not the first, human character that's died in the Pokemon series. There's been more. I'm like, well, on terms of actually watching the character get hit with an attack and dying from it, and you don't see none of it, and they totally brush it aside like it's nothing. Like, oh, we saved the day. Ash and company saved the day. We're just not going to bring up the fact that y'all killed Lysander to do it, though.
Mm.
Okay. I'm not gonna say anything. All right.
Then they do it in the game, so.
Well, yeah, technically he did die in the games too. I'm not, because he was there when the ultimate weapon just blew up. He just killed him. I'm like, dang, they killed Lysander in the game and the anime. Jesus. Albeit, what is it? The only other freaking, character evil team boss that was, I guess you can say to an extent, was killed off, as I believe was Cyrus from Diamond and Pearl. That was the only one I can remember. Now I know in Pokemon Platinum, Cyrus, I don't know what the heck happened to Cyrus. He must have stayed in the distortion world with guarantee. Well, he just stayed in the distortion world. I don't know. But yeah, I guess your thoughts, huh?
I was gonna say, wouldn't you count a certain death from the Lucario and the Mystery of Mew movie?
Oh, I'm not bringing up movies. I'm not bringing up movie continuities. I'm talking about like canonically stuff. But yes, that was pretty emotional death. Yes, that was.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Denzel, your thoughts on some of the arcs in this series?
I think the one that I hold closely to me is just the original X and Y.
No.
See, I hold dear, but the one most of my memories are from the original X and Y because of I don't know, mainly because of all the comedic episodes of like with when they were trapped in that house by Esper.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Oh, that's the word they were when it was like they were like it was like a scary episode for them.
Yeah, and that's when Serena just won't keep her mouth shut about it. Like,
And that's where it was only there just for a friend.
mm-hmm. What else? I guess when Ash first battled Cynthia.
Cynthia. You mean Diantha?
Well, how can I forget her name? Oh my god.
Oh, trust, I don't believe. Hey, let's get something straight. Diantha, she was slightly better in the anime. In the video games, that's another issue. Diantha in the video games was complete garbage. She was. Don't even get me started. Go ahead.
So she's just slightly better than in the games, you said?
Yeah, because Diantha makes a few appearances here and there. She's more integral to the plot. I'll give her that, to the main plot, because in the video games, she's nowhere to be seen when the ultimate weapon's going off. Nowhere to be seen. And Gyarados reasons champion. Okay, Lance did something when Team Rocket was going crazy. Cynthia did something when what's his face was going crazy. Steven did something when Team Magma was trying to flood the earth, or no, that's Team Aqua. While Team Magma was trying to dry the earth and have no water. I don't know what the heck that issue was. Don't even get me started talking about Team Aqua and Team Magma. They are one of the worst teams ever. Please tell me, how are you going to live by either overflowing the planet with water or drying it up? Okay, maybe. No. Team Magma is stupid. How the hell are you going to live? You need water. And you're telling me, oh, we're going to dry up the planet. Okay, then you're just telling yourself you're gonna cause human extinction. Then you literally need water to survive. You're telling me you're gonna get hydrated drinking juice. Okay. Heck, you can't even make juice without water. Technically, juice is really dyed water.
Either way, we're screwed. Overflowing with water or being dried up.
Team Aqua and Team Maga. They were some of the dumbest villains ever in the Pokemon franchise because God knows what they were thinking. Archie and what's the other guy? Maxie. Yeah, Archie and Maxie. I don't know what the hell possessed them to even have those ideals on doing that, but they must have really been cuckoo. At least some of the other villains, they were like, well, what can I say? Some of the other main Pokemon villains, the first three were like, oh, we're just going to take over the world. At least freaking Cyrus and Lysander, I'll give Lysander a credit. He wanted to create a whole new world straight up. He didn't care who he had to kill. The same goes for Cyrus. He didn't give a crap. He was like, this place is trash. You guys are trash. I'm going to kill all of y'all. I'm going to make a new world in my image. Even though you'll probably kill yourself in the process. But okay. At least they were like, oh, I'm going to kill you.
Oh, man.
No F's given. Team Plasma, they were even in the games. They had, in Black and White, they had a conviction thing going on. Oh, what is it like to liberate Pokemon from you? And then then by the end of the game, they have Getsus be revealed. Oh, I'm just going to use this thing to take over the world. Really? I love the Pokemon Black and White games, but really? The same guy just wants to take over the world again? Sounds like another Giovanni that's more crazy.
Mm.
Heck, if we're talking Black and White anime, we'll talk about that next time. But they didn't do Team Plasma any justice either.
No.
Now, I guess anything else you want to talk about, Denzel, before we talk about Ash's Pokemon, and then our thoughts on how the Pokemon League stands out?
I think I pretty much said everything I wanted, actually.
Okay. Before we talk about Ash's team, I guess we're going to talk about in terms of how this Pokemon League stands up to other Pokemon Leagues. This is my favorite Pokemon League. For one, it doesn't have the BS they pull all the time. I swear. This was the first generation that stopped the BS Ash losing. Yes, you can say they clickbaited us in the title screen for that Ash could win. At least he lost to a Mega Evolution Charizard. Even though he was using his Ash Greninja. Let's go back and count over the countless BS losses he's had in the Pokemon League. Kanto. He lost because his damn Charizard fell asleep and didn't want to do nothing. Johto. Obviously, you have to hype up the next generation, but he lost to a guy with a Blaziken. And Charizard has the advantage over Blaziken any day. Hoenn. This mother effer lost to a damn Meowth in a cowboy hat. How low does it get when you lose to the equivalent of a more experienced Team Rocket Meowth? The next two seasons, if you thought that was bad, the next two seasons were worse. Diamond and Pearl. Somehow this guy named Tobias comes up and throws out a Darkrai? Takes out half his team. His Sceptile is the only one that beats that Darkrai. Next Pokemon. Latios. A mother effing Latios. Who is this Tobias guy from? The video games? Was that my video game created character? Now, if you tell me, if anything, that was BS. That was BS. I don't care. I'm going to talk about my issue with the Black and White Pokemon League right soon. But if you ask me, what was the most ass pull Pokemon League where they just straight up said, "Oh, Ash is not gonna win this. He's just gonna straight up lose." He doesn't lose to a competitive battler. He loses to a guy with a Darkrai and a Latios, and we don't even know the remaining four of his team. And I guarantee you they were probably all legendaries. I wouldn't be shocked if he threw out his last Pokemon and it was a damn Arceus.
I don't know what to say to that.
I don't care what anybody says. The Diamond and Pearl Pokemon League, the way they ended and the way they had Ash lose was embarrassing. That was the worst way to have Ash lose. That was like, oh, we're just going to play the typical Ash loses in the Pokemon League again. How are we going to top what he did losing to Meowth? Oh, I know. Let's do something. Let's let him lose to a guy that probably has a team full of legendaries. Yeah, how are you going to beat that in the anime series? Because literally the legendaries in the anime series are legit gods. Not even normal Pokemon can take them down. In the games, you can. In the anime series, they're actually revealed as god. They're actually like revered as gods, and you can't do nothing about them. Like literally, regular Pokemon, they can't attack a legendary Pokemon. They're nothing. Heck, even in the movie continuity, they can't do nothing. Charizard couldn't even beat an Entei in the third movie. He got wrecked. And then Black and White. One thing first. Okay. Sorry, I was chit-chatting with my mother. No Black and White. It's one thing enough to lose to a guy after my name, Cameron. It's another thing to lose to a guy that is technically an inexperienced Pokemon trainer. And technically, if we're being real, Ash should have won that match by forfeit. Because guess what? Ash lost to a guy with only 5 Pokemon. Now, it's not as bad as the Diamond and Pearl loss, but that loss is a close second. A close second. I remember watching that on TV live, and I know I was watching the crappy English dub for that series. But when he lost to Cameron in the Unova Pokemon League, I was like, huh. He lost to a guy with 5 Pokemon. And he essentially forced his Riluyu to evolve into a dang Lucario. At the time, albeit, he couldn't beat whatsoever. Lucario to Ash was his kryptonite. He didn't finally beat Lucario till X and Y in the third gym leader against Karina. And albeit Mega Evolution. Ash's kryptonite was Lucario. If you watch anything before X and Y, every time they put Ash up against a Lucario, he always lost. It was over. One time in Diamond and Pearl, he tied with a freaking Lucario. And they still gave him the gym badge.
Ash versus Karina, one of the best fights, by the way.
Great fight. Pikachu versus Mega Lucario, great fight. You should definitely watch that. But when they did that, I was like, he ain't never going to win nothing, is he? This loss, okay, you can be like, yeah, they clickbaited you in the title. But, I feel fine with it. Now, obviously, they paid off a whole season later in Pokemon Sun and Moon that he finally wins a Pokemon League. But, will he win a Pokemon League in the new? Well, not a Pokemon League, but the Pokemon World Championship in this one? Who knows? But I like this Pokemon League the most. It's my favorite Pokemon League. It's my favorite. I'll say that. Dizzo? Your turn.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes, I know I had a lot. Now I'll be ranting much more about the Pokemon League when we get to our Black and White review.
Oh, joy. Jesus. I don't know what else to say, man. Because, honestly, I haven't watched as much Pokemon as you, but I can totally imagine why you would hate all those that you just pointed.
Okay, I guess since I was going to talk about... Before we end this thing off, well, quick mention. Team Rocket. If you want my thoughts on Team Rocket in this series, me and Denzel's thoughts on Team Rocket. Pathetic. again. No one cares.
We're
It's
blasting.
still, huh?
We're blasting off again.
One thing I will say this. It was cool that they brought Wobbuffet back. Wobbuffet was really funny when he was first introduced. And then they took him away in black and white. Then once they brought him back, I was like, okay, I can mess with Team Rocket. It's still I don't care. You saw my Pokemon Sun and Moon review, or if you haven't, one, check that video out. But two, this is my thoughts on Team Rocket. The fact that Team Rocket's best time to shine was from that terrible Forgotten series of Black and White disgusts me. But every other season, every other series of Pokemon, they're legit fodder. They're just there for the main character's Pokemon to have some kind of overachieving moment and have some great evolution.
Mm.
And then it's like Denzel said, we're blasting off again. Now, in Sun and Moon, I said the reasons why I liked, well, even though I still dislike Team Rocket, the way they blasted off in Sun and Moon was much more creative than them saying, we're blasting off again with the little twinkle in the sky. Again, Team Rocket is fodder. The only time I ever liked Team Rocket was in Black and White, when they were legit cool. They had those really cool black costumes of their original designs, and they were legit serious to the point they actually almost stole Ash's Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Then they just went back to being clumsy old bumbling Three Stooge idiots.
Isn't that more nostalgic though, compared to the cool looking Team Rocket?
I guess it's more nostalgic, but at some point you just get sick and tired of it. I hear it all the time from the older Pokemon fans that they're just like, Team Rocket? Who cares about Team Rocket? They're just fodder. Listen, I don't know what their point in is following a 10-year-old boy with a Pikachu who just has just a normal Pikachu. You can go find a Pikachu in it, but they think Pikachu has some kind of value. And the fact that they've been chasing this kid for 20 years, they really need some issues. They really have some life issues they need to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say this. At least Team Rocket is pretty funny in the new series. Like, they have a whole little gotcha machine, if you didn't know. They have a gotcha machine where this gotcha machine drops down. They put Meowth's head into it with his little coin thing. They flip the switch, and they get a random Pokemon. At least that's inventive. They still do the blasting off again, but at least they actually get competitive Pokemon instead of having these weak Pokemon they have in the series for the entirety time, and then somehow the main characters struggle with those weak Pokemon. The Gotcha machine works for me because guess what? You can give Jesse a Tyranitar and James a Gyarados. Okay, now you can make Ash struggle to actually beat these guys. But you're telling me a Pumpkaboo and I forgot which James Pokemon was in this series. I'll just say one of his Pokemon. A Cacnea can challenge Ash's team.
Inkay.
Oh yeah, NK. You're telling me one of that can challenge Ash's and the other companions' team when some of them have fully evolved Pokemon. Okay, we're done talking about Team Rocket because Team Rocket, again, like I said, is fodder. The only time you'll ever see me talking good about Team Rocket is, sadly enough, the next series, Black and White. Now, the last thing before we talk about is we're going to talk about, and great, my Xbox shut off. Shoot. Now I have to turn it back on just to continue watching Fairy Tail. The last thing we want to talk about is Ash's Pokemon team. Now his Pokemon team consisted on Pikachu, and I'm trying to remember this from memory. Pikachu, Greninja, Halusha. You can help me out with this, Denzel. I know we had Goodra.
Legendary.
Wait, say that again. Yeah. What's the final evolution of Fletchling?
Fletchender.
No, that's his second stage. Talonflame. He had Talonflame. That's 5. What was his last Pokemon? Did he have a? No, he didn't have a grass type this region.
We'll be right back.
I'm sorry, I have to look this up. Pikachu, Talonflame, Noibat, or Noivern, Greninja, Hawlucha, Talonflame, Pikachu, and Goodra. That was his team in Kalos. One of the more interesting teams he's had, but one of the more best teams he's had. The fact that he got a stage 3 pseudo legendary Pokemon in Goodra was great. Jesus, who would have ever guessed that? um, Even though he does kind of release Goodra into the wild. Same goes for Greninja too, because Greninja he had to stay with Zygarde for some BS reason to protect Kalos. So yeah, obviously Greninja was his best Pokemon of the region. That was his main Pokemon. Or I guess in better terms, that was his Charizard of that series.
Fully evolved water type.
Oh yes, albeit this was the first time. This is the first time he had a water type and he fully evolved it.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5 generations at that point. 5 generations he's had a water type and he has not evolved it. And those were Squirtle, Totodile, Corphish, Buizel, and that damn Oshawott. Greninja, the first one to evolve. Now, obviously, they gave him Greninja because the Froakie line was the coolest looking one. Because they typically give sometimes they typically give Ash the coolest looking starter. Not every time, but they give him the coolest looking one. Yeah, well, the exception of Black and White. Black and White, they just gave him all the starters. And Kanto. But yeah, I like his team. His team was diverse. It was interesting that he didn't have a grass type on his team, but hey, it was diverse and it got the job done.
Mm-hmm.
I guess your thoughts on his Kalos team?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty top tier compared to the other teams that he had.
Mm-hmm. Now his current team right now, I still have to watch the last week's episode, but his current team right now is looking pretty stacked. Pikachu, Gengar, Dragonite. I'm still debating if Mr. Mime counts on his team because he used Mr. Mime that one time in a Pokemon battle. But who knows? But yeah, that's all we got to say about Pokemon Sun and Moon, X and Y. So I guess my rating for Pokemon X and Y or X, Y, and Z, 9.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I put 9.5 out of 10 as well.
I won't give it a perfect 10. It had its little issues here and there. Obviously, you have your unnecessary filler, but mostly even the side episodes kind of served a main purpose to, I guess, certain characters. But you know, it's the best series, and that's why it deserves a 9 out of 10. Well, for me, 9.5 out of 10. I don't know about Denzel.
I already told you 9.5 out of 10 as well.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, so we did Pokemon X and Y, the series. Next time, we will be discussing, and I know I'm making this video, this is an hour-long video, but next time, we are going to do the infamous Forgotten, or what people like to call the Forgotten series. In other words, that's Pokemon X, not Pokemon X. Pokemon Black and White are, in the Japanese terms, Pokemon Best Wishes. And man, I debated about watching this, but it's so bad, I can remember most of the terrible things. I cannot wait to make that video next week because I will be ranting. And sorry, people who like best wishes, but I'm sorry. I'm gonna go all out. Denzel will definitely be there, even though he hasn't seen some of Black and White. But I think, for the most part, he knows it's not the greatest. So, other than that, I'm gonna get out of here so I can continue watching Fairy Tale. Two, we'll see you guys. Well, we'll have our next collab um, Saturday morning, afternoon for the second to last episode of My Hero Academia. Other than that, this has been Campy 15.
Here's the Red Wolf.
If you like this video, leave a like. If you want to leave a comment on your thoughts on Pokemon X and White, X and White, X and White. See, it's already coming to me. It's already coming to me. X and Y, the series. And I guess your hype levels for Black and White. And also hit that subscribe button for not only my channel, but hit that subscribe button to the Red Wolf's channel. He does gameplay videos and
He and I in the future will be doing a gameplay, Pirate Warriors. So be sure to be looking forward to that as well.
yes, we are actually gonna disagree with the social distance method for about 10 minutes to go to Walmart because they closed GameStops around the nation to go pick us up One Piece Pirate Warriors 4. I won't be on my end, but if we can connect to the internet, and because they did say there is online co-op, he will show you online co-op. So check out his video or his channel to get that. Other than that, we're going to get out of here. We made this video long enough as is, but other than that, we're going to get out of here. Hopefully you guys stay safe and have a nice day, night, or whenever you're seeing this video. Other than that, have a good rest of your day. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.